What's up, y'all? Side Talk Podcast Sports, where the vibes are undefeated. I'm your humble host, Eli Griffin, the voice you didn't think you needed, but you're glad you got. Let's get into it. Now, 2025 NFL Draft from Green Bay. You know, there's a lot of speculations. A lot of things happened this weekend. Hey, I was a part of it. I was watching. I was on the edge of my seats, just like everybody here. You know, and I have a lot to say about this, not just with the whole Shedeur thing, but just overall draft. And I'm here to tell you, this is probably the most toxic NFL draft I ever watched or consumed through social media ever. Let's just say that. But the first thing I want to talk about is the overall vibe. Like I said, the overall vibe was toxic. You know, and that was just the Shedeur thing. You had analysts fighting with each other on camera. Kiper is a wild boy. Overall, people on social media. I'm going to get into that too here in a minute. But yeah, overall, it was great. A lot of picks were surprising. All that. So my overall thing is the monumental slide of Shedeur is one of the highlights that I seen in this draft as well. And we'll get into that. But I just really want to say my piece about it because I know everyone's still talking about it. I just hope everybody understands that. It's a big deal, not just because he was a Sanders. It's because his projection is first and second round. He drops down to the fifth. That is the biggest slide in history. You know, we go back to Aaron Rodgers' slide from 1 to 24. Lamar Jackson at 32. We have multiple plethora of other quarterbacks that slid down. Geno Smith, 10 years, a while ago. So yeah, this is not just because he's a Sanders. That's adds fuel to the fire. But it's not just because he's a Sanders. That's why this is a monumental slide of epic proportions. You know what I mean? But we'll get into that. Also, I'm shocked as a member of Broncos country. I'm shocked that they didn't pick a running back with the 20th pick. They picked Jode Barron from Texas, which awesome pick. I love the pick. I'm just shocked on the pick. I know he was rated high on their board, so best player available. And I'm not mad to have another cornerback / safety / a speed power guy onto the field. That's why I see him. I thought he was gonna go to the Niners, to be honest with you guys. So that was just crazy to me. What else? And then Omarion Hampton, which I thought we were going to pick, it kind of shaped out that way. Which I think they'll pick him if Barron wasn't there. Goes right behind Broncos to the LA Chargers. So that puts Aston Genty and Omarion Hampton in the same division. But hey, I look at it this way: we got a great defense. So bring it on, you know what I mean? And another thing that's highlighted in my key points, my key standouts is the trade for Travis Hunter. I never thought Cleveland was going to trade out of that pick. I thought that their plan was pick Travis Hunter at 2 and then come up and pick Shedeur at, say, wherever they pick Jackson Dart, or just wait until the second round because I guess he was going to be available if he got past Pittsburgh. But we'll get into all of that. They gave up a lot for Travis, and I like the Jack GM. He's young, got that swag, a little swaggy. You know what I mean? He's just ready to get after it. And I like him, and he's a new GM this year, obviously, but he learned under Les Snead out in LA with the Rams. And hey, man, Raven reviews. He's young. He understands the new NFL culture a little bit. Yeah. So what they gave up? Let me see what they gave up. For Travis Hunter, they gave up the 5th overall pick, so Cleveland moved down to number 5 overall and picked, I want to say, Mason Graham. Yeah, Graham. They also picked up number 36, second round, number 36, a 4th round, number 126, and Jacksonville's 2026 first overall pick. So that shocked me. They said they gave up a lot. Honestly, they did, but if Travis Hunter works out, put it this way. Travis Hunter was the number 1 receiver in this draft and the number 1 cornerback. So it's like you picked a cornerback with that first pick next year or a receiver that next year. So that's kind of how I see it. But I guess we gotta wait to see how Travis is, which I'm not worried about it. Travis is gonna be Travis, and I think he's gonna ball in Jacksonville. They just need to get Trevor Lawrence healthy, keep him or stay healthy, and I think Jags is not gonna be too bad of a team this year. And how Cleveland draft went, honestly, it's a sneaky draft for Cleveland. Sneaky, great draft for the Cleveland Browns. Besides the whole Shedeur thing, but they got ballers out of that draft. They got Jukins, Mason Graham. I think they got Dylan Simpson. What else? There's a couple other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head, but they got an awesome, awesome, awesome draft. I think there's one of the best drafts out of all 32 teams. So that's another key standout and here's, we'll put on to the next, the whole standout. Mel Kiper acting super, super spicy about Shedeur sliding in the draft. Why? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know his relationship with the Sanders, even if he has one. But I think it's more personally how I think Mel Kiper is. He graded and everybody graded him as the first and second round. He just was in shock and couldn't believe how far he fell, I believe. I think that's one of those standouts. And him and whoever was on, all the analysts that was on stage that night were just ripping each other apart. You know, you hear stuff in social media talking about Mel Kiper should be fired and he's being unprofessional or whatever it may be. If you ever watch Mel Kiper on ESPN, he's high strung, he's high energy. So let's not forget about that. Not just that is he literally the birth of mock drafts. He birthed the whole draft season. I feel like he was the curator, the beginning, the genesis of what we all love to do is mock draft and look at the draft how it is, you know? So it's just crazy. But I'm gonna show you a clip and just show kind of how crazy it got on stage.
This is not about can you play the position. This is about do we want you to play the position for us. That's what this guy would man. Well, that's a whole other discussion, and we've had in many different ways for how many months now. It's not one of the toughest quarterbacks you ever felt. No. This isn't about quarterback traits and quarterback characteristics, personal football. That's not about this. This is about personal. No, you don't have to sell it to me. I know what we're talking about. You're right, but no, the draft is spoken. That's right. That's the key, Mel. It's not putting a value judgment on whether those who have right or wrong. They did. So now, whenever you're in circumstances in life, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, whether they're fair or whether they're unfair, you might have to deal with them. And now Shedeur Sanders has to deal with everything for whatever reason, whether he played a minute microscopic percentage, 0%, or it's a legitimate criticism of the way he conducted himself during the draft process. This was the result. Now he has an opportunity to answer it. I mean, I think yelling at the NFL about it is not a quarterback. Boomer Esiason was not happy with his second round. They dropped. How did he turn out? Nobody's hard to find out. The NFL has been fluid for 50 years when it comes to evaluating a quarterback. Clueless. All have no idea what they're doing in terms of evaluating the quarterback. That's true. There's proof of that. Okay, we know exactly what we're talking about. The quarterback don't. Nobody's bad themselves. All that matters now is what happens when we talk about it all the time. There is the evaluation phase and the evaluation and selection phase, which we're in right now, and then the development and implementation phase. That's where we're heading to right now. That's all that matters for him. Kevin Stefanski and Kiper and those. Quarterbacks now reach the other roles anyway. College kids now get paid. They're professional. They're getting paid. If they're getting commercial, they're out there. You got to deal with that. If you're going to deal with that. Okay? It's saying or whatever he's saying behind closed doors. What's he saying? I'm going to be the guy. I should be this. I should that. You got to say he's the best player in the draft. He's the best quarterback, second best in Travis Hunter. That's good. Who is it? What quarterback out there didn't think they should have been a high first round pick?
So again, y'all, so a little analyst on analyst crime. I'm 100% with Louis Riddick and on his takes about the whole situation. I think he said it best. He's just saying there's nothing you can do now, Shedeur. You just want to have to go out there and make the shit happen. Go ball. So I love that conversation. I know Mel Kiper got a little spicy with it, but hey, he was just trying to, he was the second best quarterback. There's no way he should have dropped. That's Mel Kiper, by the way. And I'll speak to you on how we're going to give this up when it comes to me and Shedeur and all this stuff. All right? And even with that, social media was one of the rampant, the most toxic NFL draft ex I've ever seen. Putting out stories, talking stuff, just being ignorant. It was crazy. So if anybody was on the socials checking it out, everybody's stating their opinions about who Shedeur is or what Shedeur is it or who's better than this, and it's not about that because at the end of the day they're all good in their own right. Guess what? Every quarterback in this draft or even every player in this NFL draft is accomplished more than any of us talking about it, as in not ex football players. I'm talking about the Twitter space, the people that haven't played football. Hey, I was an old college football player, but guess what? I didn't make it to the draft. Granted, well, that just wasn't what it is. We're putting our 2 cents in, like we're in our mom's basement. Shadeur's this, or Tyler Shuck is this, or Justin Dart is this. Honestly, they made it that far. Now they just gotta prove it. They're on the team. They just gotta prove who if they can ball, if they're a dog, whatever comes first. Like to me, I still think Shedeur was the best quarterback in this draft, but that's my opinion. Not just because he's my favorite quarterback, blah blah. Honestly, just by the film and how I see it and how I see the game, he was a better quarterback. So all that social media was just on top of the Sanders family, and it was a back and forth toxic. They want Mel Kiper off. The TV people that like Shedeur or support Shedeur, they don't know what they're talking about. They're talking shit. They don't care. He's entitled because his dad is who his dad is. He's arrogant. This whole thing is collusion. Crazy. But we're gonna get into that. We're gonna also get into. We're gonna get more in depth with what I believe all this and kind of say my piece in this whole toxic NFL draft. You feel me? So yeah. So now let's jump into this whole Shedeur Sanders thing. Uh and my view and how I feel about it, but I want you to share this with you guys. I want y'all to take a listen.
What's up, Coach? Yes, sir. I'm excited to see you. No, for sure. Yes, sir. Love.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome that he got drafted. Granted, he slid far, and we're gonna. It's just a debate and I guess a debate, an argument, a whose fault why he slipped and why he slipped, and also I want to show you guys just the press conference with Stefanski and the GM.
Much more throughout the process. It's going to be highly accurate. He played well from the pocket. A very productive college career. We felt like it wasn't necessarily the plan going into the weekend to select two quarterbacks, but as we talked about, we do believe in best player available. We do believe in positional value, and we didn't necessarily expect him to be available in the fifth round, and so we love adding competition to every position room.
So yeah, that's them just stating, hey, he was on the board still, and where this is the reason why we picked him up. And honestly, they got the best value of the draft because they spent a lot of time with him, got the best value since he slipped so far back. As a player, he was mocked, not just mocked, but people determined him as a first or second round player. These are the questions I asked myself while I was looking at X and watching the whole argument about why he's sliding and listening when I'm watching the draft and why is he falling? He shouldn't be falling. Excuse me. This is why he's falling and he has to do this. So my thoughts, 100%. The question is why. We all asking everybody, even I guess the president of the United States, Donald Trump, even said the shit. Why are you not picking Shedeur? Is it his play on the field? No, because most people graded him as a first or second round, and the film speaks for itself. Honestly, the reason why I believe he fell is cold-heartedly is because the interview process. He must have rubbed somebody and rubbed teams the wrong way in the interview process. Okay, that tends to happen to come out, and they said that his talent doesn't exceed the noise they hear or the interview process. They said, hey, there's I don't want my quarterback to come with this set of distractions or camp or people or whatever it may be. So that's one of the reasons why I believe he fell. All the wrong reports. Everybody says he wasn't prepared. Like the statement that came out that says Brian Daboll sent him some stuff, and he wasn't prepared when he came to met with Shedeur, and he was so pissed off he was turned off. Possibly so. We don't know. We won't really truly know. But that's one of the reasons those narratives, those things that you heard days before is probably has to contribute to why he slid. Also, the fact that he didn't participate in the combine or the shrine game. Also, the whole thing, and I've seen, is he had a problem with leadership. He was questioning if he can be a leader of men. They said that he's a little bit immature, and the way he carried himself, I guess, in these interviews, that they question his leadership and his leader of men. Okay, that's a good observation. Maybe that might be. Who knows? This is what I feel like. Maybe that was in question. We won't truly know. And the media machine that's behind him, people don't like that. It rubs coaches the wrong way. It rubs GMs and all that, all the whole good old boy network the wrong way. Just because he threw up his wrist, that don't mean that there's a media storm. I truly think he's a great player that works hard. But at the end of the day, they say his skills don't match his talent. I call bullshit on that, because if you see him play, if you look at the film, like they say, the eye in the sky don't lie. He has the skill to be a great quarterback in this league. Now he just got to go put in the work. And another couple of questions I ask, and people I've seen online, is it because he's black? Is it racist? Is it racism or racist? Any of that? No, I just truly prove it. I don't believe it's because he's black. I don't truly think it's some type of race. I truly honestly think it's the interview process. They didn't like his vibe. They rubbed him the wrong way. I can't say he's too confident, because at the end of the day, you want your quarterbacks to be confident. Just like Johnny Manziel was, Baker Mayfield. They did way, way more than, they were more into themselves than Shedeur is. Even Johnny Manziel said it himself. Not too much Baker Mayfield, but even with Cleveland, they said that he was immature after they got rid of him. But Johnny Manziel was all about himself. He stated that himself on his podcast. You don't hear nothing about Shedeur getting in trouble, drinking, smoking, fighting, none of that. So it was more the interview process, the vibe, the confidence, the bravado. I feel like they didn't like it. Granted, he might have said some couple of things and maybe was thrown off or something, whatever it may be. It's not race. That's one thing I know it's not. So people saying that it's race, it's not race, man. It's just point blank the interview process and the fact that he didn't work out when they still had questions. And some people didn't view he was worthy. So leave that bullshit race out the door. And I'm tired of people thinking about race, and I've seen it all over the timeline. It's collusion. It's his dad's fault. His dad, honestly, I don't believe it's his dad's fault. His dad has a shadow like a father should, but I feel like his shadow's so big that they don't know if Shedeur can get out that shadow. So that's one thing, a negative about the whole situation when it comes to Coach Prime, his father cast on him. Not because Coach Prime probably don't let him become his own man, which it looks like from all the videos and all the intel, their life has literally been online or on TV since Shedeur was a small kid. Now, if you see some of those like I have, you can tell Coach Prime, Deion Sanders let them become their own men. So that's an even better question. So they should already know. And as a father, you want to guide your son. You want to guide your kids to the best opportunity they can. You know what I mean? So that's just baffling me. They say, oh, Coach Prime is daddy ball, or Coach Prime is too close to the situation. At the end of the day, Shedeur's a grown man. He's going to do his thing. His dad didn't travel with him to those meetings. His dad didn't go with him, or his dad wasn't saying anything other than the simple things is we did take what we're supposed to do. Maybe that was wrong. Okay. Are they hands a little dirty in the situation? Okay, I guess. Because they believe, and he believes, that he is one of the top quarterbacks in this draft. So, again, racism, no. Is the NFL a good boys network? It sure is, but I don't think it's racism, because it's just not. It's nobody's really fault when it comes to overall. I just think in the interview process, the fact they still have questions and he didn't do the workouts like they probably wanted him to. Maybe that's something like that. Maybe that kind of weighed people's his confidence. Did some of his confidence in some of those meetings probably bite him in the ass? Maybe. We're just not sure. And if that's the case, I wouldn't say a confidence shouldn't matter in some of those interviews unless you plain out was just diabolical when it comes to it. More narcissist. And I don't believe he's a narcissist at all. You know what I mean? You have to have confidence in yourself. In any league, not just any league, just in life. Like, if you don't have confidence in life, what are you going to be? What do you want to do? You have to have confidence that you can achieve what your goal is. You can't just walk and go through life and work through life or whatever you may do in your career through life. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I can do it. No, you want to be like, yeah, I can do that, and I'm going to prove it to you. So I don't want to hear that he's too confident and he's too arrogant. I don't want to hear that shit because most quarterbacks are arrogant and confident. So just don't give me that shit. And another question I asked myself about this whole situation, about this whole slide, is it's a humbling experience for Shedeur. And I think to myself, it could be. It could be 100% humbling experience. If it was me, would I be humbled? You can say he was humbled. I'd be more pissed off that you're doubting that I can't lead a franchise than anything. It'd be more anger, more, are you fucking kidding me? How dare you think I can't do this? That's me. That's my competitiveness in myself. Like, everybody doubted me. For example, I play basketball. You know what I mean? Basketball wasn't my favorite sport, or not my favorite, was my best sport. I was just good and I can shoot. Every time I played basketball, this is high school, this is different than college and pros. I was doubted because, okay, what am I, 5'11"? At the time in high school, I was probably about 235-ish, a little short, stocky. Everybody's 6'2", 6'1". They doubted that I can play and hang with them until I went in there and went, all right, cool. I was more mad, and I took it more personal that you don't believe that I can do this. So that's what I'm saying. And that's how I feel Shedeur is. I think he should be more mad and take it personal. You know what I mean? But I guess if he says he's humbled, it's humbled him a little bit, then I guess it's humbled. But why do you have to be humble if you believe in yourself? If you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna humble myself, but why do I gotta humble myself if I'm confident in my abilities to quarterback or to play basketball or to do what you guys are asking me to do? It's not humbling in the sense of, oh man, I truly am. Isn't that? I'm truly not that as good as y'all say. What? That's what I'm saying. Humble? It's more like, no, what do you mean? I'm going to show you that I'm this good. I'm going to show you that I should have been the first quarterback taken off this board. So that's why I struggle with him being humbled. I think when it comes to the interview process and the days leading up to the draft or the months leading up to the draft, maybe he could have gone about it a different way. And he states that, which I will play the press conference that he had when he was talking to Cleveland reporters. Yeah, he could have went about it a different way and made it, hey, yes, this is, I struggle in this because I want, just, talk, have a conversation. You don't always have to, like, I think he is who he is. He don't have to, I don't know. It just kind of not triggers me. I just don't understand he needs to be humble. I don't get that part. It's more that you're doubting me now. It's not humble. You're doubting me. Because he does believe he's talented. So he believes in his abilities. So why do you think he's been humble? No, he believes he's confident in his abilities to play. So you're not humbling me. You just mean I'm taking it personal that you don't believe in me enough to become or get drafted higher to become the franchise quarterback. So with that humbling experience that I've seen everywhere, that kind of iffy. That's just kind of how I see it. So, and another question I ask, and this is all over the internet as well. Somebody leaked his number or stole, well, not leaked. The kid, the defensive coordinator from Atlanta Falcons, his son, leaked or stole, I guess, looked at his dad's laptop and literally stole Shedeur's number and pranked him. So, it says, rumors has it that Jax Ulbrich, son of the Falcons DC Jeff. I don't even know how to say his last name. Ulbrich was behind the Shedeur Sanders prank call. This is his son, and that's explained why the whole prank call and everybody's seen the prank call. What I'm going to say about this is, it's nasty work, man. Like, kid, you don't understand the things that just by doing that jeopardize not just like first it was hurtful, and I would be pissed if that was my son that happened to, as well as you put in jeopardy your dad's job. Like me, he needs to get an ass whooping. He's not a kid. He's 21 years old, so he's a grown man. He needs an ass whooping for that. And granted, I guarantee this. They said as well as Shedeur getting pranked, there's other people getting pranked. And also last year, Cooper DeZine got pranked. Is it fair to say that this kid might be? You think? You fair to say is this his first time doing this? You think this is his one off? That's where you gotta look into it. But he ain't gonna admit that he did it last year. Who knows? He probably did it again this year. That's the reason why he had the balls to do it again. But again, dumbass kid. I'm gonna say kid because I'm older than him by a lot, and it's the simple fact that this kid right here did that is beyond me. It doesn't make sense that he would jeopardize his dad's child, which the kid's in college, which his dad loses his job. Like I guarantee his dad is paying for his college. You know what I mean? So stuff like that right there is just, oh man, if it was my son, I'd smack the fuck out of him. That's just off top 100%. He needs an ass whooping for that. And I guarantee this is not a one-off. I guarantee he did this last year. I guarantee he had something to do with this shit last year. 100%. He just got caught because he prank called one of the biggest brands, a person that has one of the biggest brands that we've ever seen. Not ever seen, but so it's just sickening. But here's the prank call.
Hey, Mr. Shedeur, this is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints. We have heard you, man. Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're going to take you to the next week right here, man. But you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry about that.
And see, that right there calls for, I just an ass whooping, man. That's disrespectful, and to me, it just shows me that like you want your kids to understand certain things, and they have your last name. You don't want to embarrass that name. You don't want to embarrass your dad's last name. Like I know me, my like stories with me. I have my dad's last name, and I'm the third, and I wouldn't want to do anything to embarrass him or his legacy or what he's trying to do. And that right there just shows like he can care less about whatever it may be. But that's just a bad look. And old dude needs, I ain't gonna lie, the dude just needs his ass whooping. Let's call a spade. It's sickening, but that's another thing that I just don't do that again. This is not his first time, so that's just crazy. That I don't know. I'm speechless about that. So now with all that happening, I want y'all to understand. He is now on the team. Shedeur is now on the team after all the drama and the fall and all that combined to just the whole media circus and people fighting and everything that happens. Shedeur comes out and speaks right afterward, and I like what he said. He understands. He gets it, man. And I don't think they understand it. And I don't think people get it that he's a smart kid and he's going to, I think he's pissed off. So this is a press conference after he got drafted, after it was a legit call from a GM.
Just wanted to ask you, can you please put into words somehow just the emotional roller coaster that you have been on since the first day of this draft and waiting for this to happen, including a nasty prank call that everyone can agree was a horrible thing, to finally getting that phone call from the Browns and jumping in the pool.
Yeah, I would say I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity throughout everything. I don't ever focus on the negative or even think about the negative because the positive happens so fast and, it's a change of emotions. For me, it was just playing quarterback. That's what it's about. You can't be up too low or anything. You gotta be able to celebrate. And when we score a touchdown, we celebrate for a little bit. Now it's back to time to work. It's time to go. So, that's all it is a football game. to me, and that's how I view it. That's my personality. Is I would say, level through adversity and level through.
So yeah, that was his press conference with the Cleveland Browns. And like I said, does he sound hungry? Yeah, he ain't gonna display how pissed off he is on a press conference. So let's get that straight. So now he's with Cleveland, and now we got to see what can he do now? What is his route? What is his route as a Cleveland backup? They got four. They got Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel that they drafted in the third round before Shedeur, and Deshaun Watson. No one knows he's not going to play this year. So, and Deshaun Watson, they're not going to play him this year. So, we're not even putting him in this quarterback. So, I believe he can flat out ball. I believe Shedeur can flat out ball, and he can become a starter. Everybody says he's a fifth round pick and he can cut. They're not cutting him. Once Cleveland and the organization sees that his jersey sales are selling, people are coming to games to see Shedeur. Granted, they're going to get a lot of questions on how many reps this Shedeur get or when is he going to start. So the person that should be pissed off is Dylan Gabriel because they drafted you third round. So that right there should be. But I'm not saying that he's not pissed off. He's going to show. Shedeur Sanders is a better quarterback than Dylan Gabriel. Flat out. No one's going to tell me any different. So you need a lot of noise when it comes to when you're going to play him, how you're going to play him, whatever. So, me personally, as a coach, whoever wins that quarterback or whoever plays the best is going to play or be the backup, whatever it may be, however they share the reps. I just want Cleveland to give them the same opportunity as Gabriel and and that's what it is. Just give him the opportunity, and I guarantee he'll show you. I think Kenny Pickett is either going to get released or traded during camp. Just simple fact is, if somebody gets hurt around the league, they're gonna probably get him, send him off for like 6th round pick or whatever it may be. I don't believe Kenny Pickett's gonna be on this team at game one. And granted, they don't like to carry too many quarterbacks on a roster on game day roster. So I think somehow, someway, they're going to keep Shedeur Sanders. That's just flat out. They're going to see the machine that's behind him. They're going to show the support that's behind him. So they're going to keep him because it's right for the pockets, to be honest with you. But also, the boy can flat out play. So, Joe Flacco's probably going to start the season. You never know. He's 40 years old. So if he gets hurt or nicked up, Gabriel or Shedeur, they're going to keep three quarterbacks on the roster this year. Simple fact is they drafted two. Flacco's the starter until otherwise, and Pickett, I believe, is going to either be released or shopped around during camp if somebody goes down. So that's how I see the quarterback competition, but how it stacks up with this whole fiasco with all the questions I try to answer and all what everybody says on social media and the analysts and the media and all this whole NFL conglomerate thing. And Shedeur needs to understand it too. Speaking to them, they don't believe that we're mature enough to lead men. So go show and prove that these motherfuckers are wrong. Because I'm rooting for the kid. Prove that you're a CEO on the field. Take it personal. Be mad. Feel slighted. Feel that burn that's in your gut that they doubted who you believe you are. And I guarantee you'll win this competition, my man. No matter what people say, keep your head down and grind. Ball, play, study, fight until you can't fight no more. To prove that you went from, or prove to everybody, or just prove to yourself that you are that CEO, that you are that quarterback. And you can be a top 10 quarterback in this league. Just show these motherfuckers. Now that's all they want. So at the end, you will have the last laugh. At the end, you can tell them, y'all all doubted me. All 32 teams doubted me. And Cleveland, you doubted. 5 rounds you doubted. Do I believe he's going to do that? 100% yeah. And I hope he fucking does that too. Because he is the best quarterback to me in this draft class. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just the way he plays quarterback is how you're supposed to play quarterback in this league. He's not athletic enough. You play quarterback in this league like you're playing chess. You got to know the man's move before the man moves. You dig what I'm saying? So yes, Shedeur, go out there and ball. Go out there and prove that those interviews are wrong. All the people that were naysaying you was wrong. The people that doubt that you can't be that quarterback. And you can be that leader of men. So show them that. Show them the proof. Show them who the fuck you are, dog. You feel what I'm saying? And all will be good. And I guarantee right now, he will be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns if you give him that chance that you drafted him for. Because at the end of the day, Cleveland, anybody under or every quarterback that's under a roster currently is not better than Shedeur Sanders. It's not. He's not my favorite quarterback. I just look at the field. Again, I am a Broncos fan. Cleveland got the best quarterback since Bernie Kosar. So let him become that quarterback. That's all I got to say about that's all I got to say about Cleveland, the Shedeur fiasco, and all that. And again, social media. I love trolling social media. Just because you don't like Shedeur doesn't mean you got to put him down. You don't have to put him down at all. What you guys got to understand is I troll people on social media on purpose. Because one thing, things you say about Shedeur, I say about another quarterback, and I get flooded with messages. He's just entitled. You're this person. You just love Shedeur. No, I just think he's the best quarterback in the draft. That's all I'm stating, and I'm just stating what you guys say about Shedeur. Y'all don't like it when the rabbit got the gun. So understand why I do that. Plus, I just get a kick at trolling sometimes. But yeah, Shedeur, do your thing, man. Stay blessed. Leave it all in man's hands. Leave it to God, man. I believe in you. And that's the reason why, and that's how I feel about this whole situation with Shedeur Sanders and my overall take on this year's NFL draft. You feel me?